Have you been following the scenery debate between Orbx and FrugalSim? Has FrugalSim got it wrong, or is this much more than a storm in a teacup for Orbx? I've done some investigating and reached some unexpected conclusions. All this coming right up. FrugalSim posted on YouTube, I'll leave a link to the video in the notes below, challenging Orbx over the use of the word prerequisite. The prerequisite being some scenery purchases require the purchase of additional scenery packs. Let's have a quick look at the Orbx website by way of explanation. Okay, here we are on the Orbx website. From the products menu, I've chosen North America, and once on the North American page, I've scrolled down and I've chosen Papa Alpha Juliet November. And I've chosen this simply because I already own this product. If we click on there and we go to the Juneau page and we go right down to the bottom, we will see there that the comment regarding prerequisite products. And in this case, the prerequisite product is Southern Alaska. So there we have it. The question really is a simple one. Do we need Southern Alaska in order to use Juneau? I investigate this plus one or two other areas. So stay with me, there could be some turbulence ahead. Welcome to Juneau. I've also got Orbx Southern Alaska installed, and we're just going to take a quick look at the airport so we can use it for comparison purposes. I am using prepared version 4.3. Anti-aliasing is 4 SSAA. Resolution is at high. Anisotropic is at ×4. Level of detail and tessellation is high. Mesh is 10. Texture is 15. And scenery complexity is set at dense. Autogen is high. Building density, again dense. Reflections are off, but HDR is on. There's no weather programs loaded, and I've set it to the prepared default clear skies, so it didn't interfere with the views, and there's no presets. Okay, here we are in Juneau again, this time without the Orbx Southern Alaska region installed, but the Orbx Juneau is installed. Just for a point of clarity, I do have the Orbx base, OpenLC for North America and Vector installed during all of these tests. We can pick up there some of the shoreline washing on the maintenance track at the end of the runway, and clearly there are some elevation issues here. We can see the hangars and the maintenance sheds just coming up on our left hand side. They're up on a fairly high ridge. And the jets in the background there, the business jets, they appear to be almost on a pedestal. So let's just have a pan here to the left and have a closer look. If you're wondering what package I'm using for this, I am using Chase Plane, a very useful and versatile tool, particularly for this sort of thing. So let's just have a look now at the airport. Some interesting results then. On the Orbx website currently, Juneau is being sold for $32.95 Australian dollars. Had I just purchased Juneau and had all those software glitches, I would not have been a very happy customer. The region price currently on the website is $54.95 Australian dollars, and in my particular case I did buy Southern Alaska. Well, from what we've seen up to this point, it looks like Southern Alaska is a prerequisite if you want to use Juneau correctly. However, I've got one nagging thought. I do have Pilot's Mesh installed. And as most of the problems were elevation related, I decided to disable that and see whether or not that would make any difference. So we're back at Juneau with Southern Alaska uninstalled and the Pilot's Mesh disabled, and it looks like we've got exactly the same elevation issues as before, so I think that can rule out the Pilot's Mesh as a contributory factor in this instance. So we got some results, but are they conclusive? We need to do further tests just to make sure. I don't currently own the Central Rockies region from Orbx, so what I've decided to do is purchase an airport in that region. And in this case I've chosen Kilo Whiskey Yankee Sierra, Yellowstone. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm going to buy West Yellowstone Airport. When I go to that page and page down to the bottom, sure enough, there are prerequisite product being Central Rockies. So I'm not going to buy Central Rockies. I'm just going to buy and install the airport and see whether or not we get any issues. If I need to fork out for Central Rockies, ouch, it's going to cost me a hefty $54.95. Wish me luck. Here we are in prepared 3D. No Orbx scenery installed, neither for the airport or the region. This is just standard P3D airport. Pretty sparse as one expects it to be, but it will give us a good comparison for when we download and install Yellowstone from Orbx. So here we are. I've now installed Kilo Whiskey Yankee Sierra Yellowstone Airport. I've not installed Central Rockies region, and now back in prepared 3D having a look at the airport. first glance, I can't see any obvious problems. We'll also have a look at it out of winter. Not a lot to this airport, but I'm sure it's as it is in real life. I can't see any elevation errors. Taking overhead view, blending seems reasonable. Now having a look at summer. The blending looks fine. Well, I have to say, in all honesty, I can't see anything wrong in terms of the software. It's matching with the surrounds. It looks absolutely fine to me. Well, if you stuck with me this far, we're going to get to the conclusions, but first a few qualifying statements. I'm an avid flight sim enthusiast and have been for many years, stretching all the way back to some of the earlier editions of FSX. But a scenery expert, I'm not. The views are my personal views, as are my conclusions based on the experiences that we've shared here today. I can't qualify these for X-Plane because I haven't tested these on X-Plane yet. In addition, whilst installing and uninstalling the various scenery packages, I have used the airport elevation correction under FTX Global Vector. To access Global Vector, you do that through FTX Central, clicking on the Global Vector icon, and then on the Global Vector page, clicking on Control Panel. This will then give you a number of graphical configuration options, and the one we're particularly interested in is the airport elevation corrections. And it says here, this will automatically scan your scenery file and identify all add-ons that will likely cause conflicts with FTX Vector. Airport elevations affected by this will then automatically be disabled. In addition, it says, please note, you should rerun auto configuration after installing, uninstalling, activating, or deactivating add-on scenery. So I have done this in all instances. Once you click on the Auto Run Configurator button, and it does take a little while to run depending on the speed of your hard drive, I have also tried to manually enable and disable Papa Alpha Juliet November Juneau, but the facility is not available. That airport is not listed as enabled or disabled. Once the Auto Run Configurator is completed, it'll let you know. Click OK, and then don't forget to click Apply at the bottom so that it applies those changes to your flight simulator. If you don't click Apply, those changes won't be made. And lastly, here is a quick snapshot of my settings in Prepared. So now to the conclusion. What exactly is the meaning of the word prerequisite? Well, according to the Cambridge English Dictionary, it's something that must exist or happen before something else can exist or happen. So after all that testing, what are the conclusions? We have two conflicting tests. One, Juneau, which appears to require Southern Alaska, and the other, West Yellowstone Airport, doesn't seem to require Central Rockies in order to display correctly. Are you confused? Get in the queue, because me too. Amy Sanjari posted on the Orbx forum recently in direct response to the Frugal Sim video released on YouTube, saying lately there's been some confusion about our products and whether or not regions are required for airports to work. She goes on to say, because we pride ourselves on delivering the complete Orbx quality experience, with all of our products we will always indicate that airports are designed specifically to work with the corresponding region. Of course, anyone is free to use them without, however, visual anomalies may occur. I hear you, Amy. And I agree with you. If you want the best graphics, the most detailed scenery, the most accurate scenery, then the Orbx multi-layered scenery packages are unequaled in the market. That's the way to go. However, it does seem to boil down to the meaning of the word prerequisite. And prerequisite means must have. Now in the case of Juneau, we did require the region, Southern Alaska, in order for it to display correctly, with no anomalies. But in the case of West Yellowstone, that wasn't the case. We downloaded West Yellowstone, and it displayed just fine, without Central Rockies region. So in Juneau's case, prerequisite? Yes, I think it is a prerequisite based on the test that I've done, based on my personal experiences. But in the case of West Yellowstone, prerequisite, I think that's a little strong. Highly recommended, strongly recommended, perhaps would have been more appropriate. Is West Yellowstone an anomaly, an exception to the rule, or is Juneau? I don't know. But what we do look for is greater clarity and understanding from Orbx in terms of what is a real must-have and what is not.